Okay, so good morning, HSPs. I'm Nathan. I'm an HSP. That means I'm highly sensitive. And today I'm going to talk about road raging and some ways you can work on, as a driver, staying calm, staying in control, and not trying to control everybody else around you. Okay, so basically when it comes to driving, there's a couple really simple things we can work on. Are you the type that likes to drive in the left lane? The fast lane, right? Well, if you're that person and it's causing you to feel stress, well, that's an easy move. Just move over to maybe the middle or the right lane. If the middle is uncomfortable because you're thinking, now I got people coming in from both directions that can hit me, there's more chances of being hit and being in an accident. Well, I'm with you on that. I get that. So choose either the right lane, which may take a little bit longer, but just plan for that. I heard this: if you're prepared, you shall not fear, as a kid. So if you plan well, you can relax and enjoy your commutes, because there are so many ways to be upset with driving. For one, right now it's super bright out and it's bothering me a lot. So you could easily solve that problem just by putting on a pair of... Okay, that's nice. Whew. So the reflections off that car in front of me were so intense that I just wanted to scratch my eyes out. It was so bad. So take the edge off of it. Good pair of sunglasses can go a long way with changing your mood instantly. Another example of how light sensitivity when driving can really be a problem. Right when I walked out of church one day with my family, my son was being a lot really over dramatic, but this proves the point. He walks out and he goes, I can't see, my eyes, I'm blind. And he wasn't like joking. he kept his eyes closed while he let his mother walk him to our car with his eyes closed, pretending like he was broken. And then we get in the car and I have him put on my pair of sunglasses, and he's like, oh, that feels good. So light sensitivity, it's a huge thing. So take that seriously. Another thing, right now I'm in the left lane out of the two. If you are a slow driver, the left lane is not where you belong. You're going to feel stress every time someone comes up on your back and they're riding you real close, and you're thinking, oh, okay, this is gonna, it'll drive your nerves crazy, because here they are ready to honk or road rage around you because you're not keeping up with the flow. Now, if that bothers you and you can't handle that stress of being in that left lane and keep up with the flow of traffic, then you might as well move over to the right lane, because the moment you get pulled over for going too fast anyway, what's that feel like? I can tell you right now from personal experience, 4 times, it's not pleasant on my nerves. I don't like the authority figure of a cop telling me what I already know when I'm going through all these power struggles in my head, saying things like, why are you pulling me over when 90% of the people that are going fast are not getting pulled over? And then also, because let's be honest, let's talk about the speed limit for a second. No matter what the speed is, what does the common average flow of traffic usually end up being? Well, it's certainly not the speed limit. I can tell you that for a fact, unless you're in a small town. Then you might want to keep between the speed limit and at most 5 over. But when you're in normal areas, rural cities, the speed limit is not a suggested and law rule. It's more like you go 5 to 15 over. And if you're really trying to feel like you're keeping up with everybody, it's probably on average closer to somewhere around 6 to 9 over the speed limit. So keep that as a rule of thumb of why are you feeling so much stress. If you're not keeping up with people in general, it's going to get on your nerves, because you're going to feel that. You're going to feel their stress as they get up and ride you like inches behind you, and then put pressure on you, and then fly around you. So you could do a couple things. You could invest in a bigger vehicle that makes you feel less threatened, which I've never done. And even when I actually drove bigger vehicles, when I've borrowed them from time to time, like a huge truck, I actually felt more stress in that truck because it was so big and I felt like I was gonna run into people, and that bothered me a lot. So you have to find the right size vehicle for you. That could be for one of my friends who's HSP. She loved a big truck. She felt powerful. She felt like, hey, you know what? You got a problem with me? Well, you're gonna have a bigger problem if you try to hit me. So for her, that worked out really well. For me, I don't like it. So you're gonna have to figure out what size vehicle you need. So how do you deal with like freak situations and accidents? Like I was driving down this exact road I'm on right now not too long ago, and I'm in the right lane. I'm just going with the flow of traffic, and then this is where our spider senses, I like calling them spidey senses and superpowers, because they were on high alert. I'm always like, when I'm in the right lane and I notice the left lane is all built up and stopped, and now I'm in a lane that is flowing really fast because I didn't get stuck in what I call the sheep lane, where people like you know what I mean, like when you come up to a light and you see one lane has 7 cars and the other lane has 0 cars. Which lane do you choose? For me, I call it the sheep lane. If you go and sit in the line of people when there's nobody in line on the other one. So I avoid sheep lanes and sheep situations in driving. So I see the big built up cars on the left moving slower. So I get in the right lane and I'm just flowing at the same speed, and it's rush hour, and that's when it's really hard. And as soon as that, and here's the problem, when you're in that fast lane for a moment while everybody's in that stop, everybody in that stuck situation is thinking one thing: how do I get out of this? And is it going to be safe? Well, for the most part, it's stressful for me just to be in that fast lane, because now I know what they're thinking, and I know they're about to bolt out at any second, and it's gonna either be me or somebody in front of me, and then we're all gonna be ticked off together because we're all stuck in this situation, and I'm a witness, and I should probably just stick around and tell people, but that's gonna make me late to work. So there's all sorts of things we're thinking about. Yeah, it's pretty annoying, I know. However, breathe, take a breath. You feel your heart, just thinking about all this is starting to cause you to get elevated. Just breathe 2 or 3 times, big deep breaths. You'll be back to a more healthy place. I do a lot of that, actually. It's helpful. So, okay, so the accident situation. I had this happen to me about 3 months ago. I'm in the flow lane on the right when I saw the left side pack up and come to almost a stop. And right when it was coming to a stop, I knew in my mind, this is the moment when someone's gonna jump out, and it's likely gonna be no warning situation. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. The person bolted out so fast, it hit me so hard from the door into the rail of the road on the side next to me. There was nothing dangerous for me to roll off and fall down, but it was just one of those things where he hit me so hard that it knocked me over into the rail, damaged the fronts of my vehicle and the corner of his vehicle, and then what happens after that? This is where HSPs can really use some advice. So as a nice person and trusting person, as an HSP, I wanted to just be like, as long as you're okay, I'm okay, everything's fine, as long as you have insurance, right? I'm thinking this in my mind, and first thing he does is he gets out of his vehicle and he comes over to me and he's apologizing for causing the accident, taking fault right away. That's important. Whoever's at fault needs to be, you both have to be in agreement on that right away. And so he's apologizing, saying, please don't call the cops. I recently got it taken, and if I can avoid that, that would be great, and I would really appreciate it. I have valid insurance, and I will call them right now and get this claim started, so they will take care of everything you need. Now here's the problem. I took his word for it. I trusted him. He gave me his phone number right then. We called each other, so I knew I actually had a connection to him. But just because you have his phone number does not mean he's going to respond to you the second you drive off. This is where the problem really happens. I took a gamble, a huge risk, a $10,000 risk on trusting this person. It worked out for me, but I'm just gonna say it ahead of time. It was probably not the right move. It's definitely not the right move, and this is why. While I was in the state of shock and in that accident, I was sitting there thinking, I'm okay, nothing's wrong. In fact, that's what I told the claim adjuster when his insurance calls me and says, hey, how are you doing? And they were kind of rude. I didn't like the whole experience. They were just like a lawyer, questioning and trying to get me to say certain things so that way, if I ever changed my story, they could be like, well, you said you were fine when you just got done with the accident, and here's what happens when you're in shock from an accident. You're not thinking straight, for one, and it's too early to know if you're going to be feeling any pain later. So sometimes. So here I am driving to work, with a broken vehicle. I couldn't even open my door, so I had to crawl out of my car through the other side of the car, and I started to notice my back was a little bit off, my neck wasn't so great, and it got way worse. So if he hadn't responded, I had to go to I think it was 15 physical therapy appointments before I started feeling better. That was like somewhere around 20 to 30 hours away from work. Think about that for a moment. You get in an accident, and do you have the time and the finances to be able to be away from work for 15 to 20 hours for a 5-second mistake that someone else made that is going to put pressure on your life? No, you don't. Probably don't. And so, take care of yourself. Be extra careful by just letting the law do their job. Your taxes are paying for them to just make everything right in that situation right after an accident happens. Call the cops. You don't have to be mean or rude about it. Just do it. Do it before they come to your window so that you don't have to feel guilty about them being like putting pressure on you and saying, hey, you shouldn't call the cops. And you'd be like, oh, it's already too late. I'm already talking to them right now. Just put the phone up to your head and call them immediately so that doesn't happen to you, so you don't have to feel bad about it, because it'll be too late once you already call them. Okay, so that's really important, because here's what it came to. My car, the damage on my car ended up costing somewhere around $8,000 to fix. I don't have $8,000. I'm sure that guy didn't have $8,000, and there's no way it was going to get fixed. I would have lost my vehicle. I would have not been able to afford that. And if I repaired it, if I gotten a quote, it would have been way off. The original quote came in at $1,500. Well, $8,000 is not the same as $1,500. $1,500, I would have said, yes, I could do that. Maybe it would hurt a lot if I was paying it out of pocket. But to go from $1,500 2.5 months later to $8,000 is unacceptable. So take it from me, and just this one experience, you don't want to rely on the kindness of someone else, being an honest person and having good insurance. Luckily for me, he had good insurance, and they did take care of my car. And almost all things, the rental situation is a disaster. So when it comes to a car rental, when your car gets damaged and it gets thrown into let's say it's not even working and you can't function at all, they will give you essentially like anywhere between like 2 and 4 weeks of car rental. And then if your car right now, with the way parts are behind, it typically takes about 2 months for all the parts to come in when they order things. That means you're not going to have a vehicle for about 4 to 6 weeks being covered by their insurance, because they won't cover the whole thing. They just won't. They'll tell you to go return the vehicle, and you're going to be like so flustered and frustrated because you didn't cause the problem, and now it's your problem, because now it's going to impact your ability to get to work conveniently like you were. So it is a big deal. Call the cops. So then when I'm dealing with my physical pain, waiting for my vehicle to get fixed, let's see, I went to a physical therapy 15 times. There's so many emotions in that situation with high sensitivity. How do I get fixed? Well, I'm watching the girl next to me who they are scraping her knee with this like tool you would use in a house for flattening putty, and she's in so much agony. She didn't come back. That was her one and only visit, and she needed to come back like at least 10 to 15 more times because she was in so much pain. She couldn't fix that problem without a physical therapist pushing her through the pain correctly and helping her overcome it. And she didn't come back. So that's sad for me, because as a highly sensitive person, we're going to feel more pain, and going through the recovery of that is not going to be an easy process for us. I ended up doing dry needling, the acupuncture methods, because the lower back twisting was not right, my neck was not right, and then when you get into your 40s plus, everything gets worse, like stiff, and you get injuries just for breathing. Waking up, you might have something off, so you can't just shake it off and roll with it. It doesn't work that way. It's not that simple. So you're gonna need PT, and it's gonna take a while to get completely back. They will tell you it'll probably take somewhere between 3 to 6 visits to get back. 15 visits to work on both my back and neck. Giving about 6 visits to 7 each. So they're trying to help you feel like it might be less. And I love my physical therapist who helped me. But at the same time, your body's going to say something else. If you're feeling pain after 8 to 10 visits and it's still not fixed, that tells you it takes a while to fix things. Even my wife right now, who's going for some pain in her elbow, she's at 10 visits, I think, and she was feeling good again. Holding the baby wasn't hurting anymore, and things were good, but here's the problem. It started to resurface again after about a month, just a little bit. I mean, it was really bad before, so they definitely worked on and got through a lot of the issues she was having, but it's not fully healed. So it takes time to fix your body sometimes. When you're older like us, 40 plus, the body does not recover quickly, and you will need to spend time in the physical therapist. At least my experience has been at least 10 to 15 visits, bare minimum. It like the time when I popped my knuckle out of place when I was mountain biking. That'll be a whole nother story, but the short end of it, it was 3 years before I got the full range moving again. And no, it's not full range, it's about 85%. So it's not easy to fix our body when we get into an accident. So take it from me, you want to call the cops. So sunglasses, protect yourself, get the police doing something that we all pay them to do, and have them on your side, and they'll take care of it. The other thing, and make sure the insurance is involved. Definitely want to have that protect you for covering the cost of all the things that happen when you get into physical pain and your car being repaired. So now here I am on the freeway, and I'm thinking about the advice I gave earlier with the left lane versus the right lane. And because I'm also HSS, I can enjoy the adrenaline of being the fast driver and cruising at full speed and dodging cars and pretending like I'm in a go-kart and just enjoying that thrill. I don't enjoy the thrill of the cop putting his authority over me and giving me that ticket. So I have to hold that back and just put it in the back seat and let my HSP be the driver. So if you're an HSS and you love that thrill of going fast and you're gonna speed on occasion because you rented a fast sports car or whatever you did, you might want to just accept the fact that you probably will get a $250 ticket and be willing to go through all those emotions that will come with it. So did I miss anything? There are so many elements to driving that can be highly annoying and over the top. So the type of car is critical what you should be buying too. Take it from me, I also own a Prius. That car causes more people to be, especially truck drivers, more intensely aggressive to you as a driver. No matter how you drive it, even if you keep up with people, they will want to make sure to teach you a lesson for driving that car. There's such a negative, unspoken hatred towards Prius drivers that they will come for you and ride your butt right as close to you as possible, trying to leave their paint on your entire bumper all the way through the front as they fly past you and around you, because they want you to know how much they don't like you. So if you don't like and you're trying to save money on gas, don't drive a Prius, because that car just begs to be antagonized. I still have my Prius and I'm going to continue to drive it. I can get away with it emotionally. It's really rough on me sometimes. And if you're one of those truck drivers watching and hearing this right now, stop road raging. They're not rude people. And if you don't like the way they drive, just go around them and give them space when you go around them. Jeez, you don't have to make a point that they're going slow. They're purposely choosing to do that. And give them a break. It's not the end of the world. There's other things to be mad at in this world than to show everybody that they're not driving at your standards. Anyway, yeah, so the choice of car is really critical. There can be some really bad, poor choices for you if you're trying to just not be noticed and not deal with high intense situations. Another thing, I guess, the way you label things all around your car, that could definitely attract more attention and maybe good ways or bad ways. So if you're putting a bunch of bumper stickers on your cars, that's getting reactions from people. That could cause people to respond and do things around you that is driving, at the end of the day, is going to cause you to feel more stress, because they're potentially not in agreement with what you're promoting on your vehicle. So just be aware, what the way you present yourself will have an impact on how people treat you. And here we are trying to talk about strategies of being careful and doing things that will make your driving less intense. Well, that's probably one of those things that you got to think it through and what makes sense and how it will be perceived by others. Now, if you are in a loud area and you cannot stand all the honking and all the road rage, stressful driving, you need to invest in a pair of headphones. Where are they? Oh, they're in my pocket. I have them almost everywhere I go. An Apple AirPod, I think they call them Pro headphones, noise cancellation headphones. I can't open and put them on because that'll mess up my audio with you. And they are so important, because at moments when I'm overwhelmed, I throw those babies in and it's like poof, all the sound over sensory stimulation goes away. I can just, even if I don't even turn on music, just taking the edge off of hearing all the raging sounds and honking and sirens of cops and all those sounds going by, construction workers, everything, the jackhammer. There's so much stuff going on that just driving can be so draining that you're gonna want a nap afterwards, and you can avoid all that by just throwing on a pair of headphones and turning on some music or something that you enjoy, because that's not going to be the same for everybody. For me personally, I might throw on self-help books that I like this HSP book that I started listening to, and I'll dive hard into that stuff for a solid month, listening to book after book after book through Audible, and getting a lot of information like I've been doing. So music is great. I love music. I can listen to music, and that changes my mood real fast. So you choose something that works for you. Sometimes it's slow, but oftentimes it's fast. I'll be listening to Imagine Dragons and things like that, and just turning up the music. Now, that may not work for you to go up loud, but for me, I've always enjoyed it loud for some reason. If it's something I like. The moment, if it were a song I didn't like, that would turn into a counterproductive method and be driving me crazy. Like, if me personally, I'm not a big fan of country. I might be able to hear one song every once in a while if it's a song that I can tolerate and love. So you turn on the wrong music, and that emotion will just make you want to go burn the world down. So make sure you pick wisely the things that you like. So it's best not to play Russian roulette with the radio DJ and let them choose your music, because that's not going to help. Be more selective. You can even for free go on Pandora and listen to pick your favorite song, and just Pandora will automatically pick songs that are like it, and start being proactive about the songs it selects that are like it, to thumbs up or thumbs down every time you like or dislike the song. Once you start doing that, it starts to see a trend of what you like and what you don't like. And that's gonna fix your music situation. You can actually have a lot more control. And although for free, you're gonna have ads that pop up between, I can't remember if it's between like every at random, like maybe every 4 songs, an ad will pop up for 15 seconds. And then you could pay for like $5 a month to remove those ads. So that has been huge. I don't have to go and buy a bunch of music. I just pay a small fee every month, and I have built up a huge list of songs that I love, and it keeps playing through those 50 to 100 songs, and then it keeps suggesting new ones every once in a while, which is nice, because my HSS things, I with my HSS needing new things all the time, that's really helpful for it to pick new songs for me, so I don't have to sit there and try to find new songs. It does it for me automatically by just trying to find music that it thinks I'm going to like, and that works out great. And now I'm at work. All right, well, I hope this was helpful for you. There are so many things that we need to do as HSPs to make our lives better, and wow, that is bright now that I took those glasses off. I hope this has been helpful. Driving can be relaxing. This particular drive, I've had to actually mentally think, relax, breathe, because I wasn't doing my normal things with listening to music or something that takes my mind off of the drive. And quite the opposite. I was talking about all the driving, so it was elevating my emotions and making my nerves kind of rattle. So I'm gonna have to do something when I get into work and throw those headphones on for maybe a few minutes, maybe one song for 3 minutes. That'll change everything for me. Just take a quick 2-second break for myself, put the headphones on, hear some music, relax, even some meditation stuff that just walks you through teaching you how to breathe and relax if you don't know how to do all this for yourself automatically. Those kind of things are also readily available through an app called Aura, A-U-R-A. I think I paid like $12 for an entire year subscription, and it's huge. It's worth doing and paying for it, because this one that's the cost of going to McDonald's and buying a single meal and supersizing it, or whatever they call that. So this one thing will change everything for giving you some life coaches, some psychologists, and music that is calming for sleeping and just meditating and relaxing, and just teaching you how to walk through the motions of calming down. And that's huge. I mean, you'll hear all the time with all the meditations, just breathe, now take a breath. You have no idea how much that helps. Just try that. Do 3 of those. That could literally save you from having to pay $12 every year. Just learn to breathe and relax. That's a huge thing. And if that's not working, then definitely pay the $12 and listen to it. Okie dokie. Hope driving is going to be better for you now. Tell me what you've experienced and other tips that I've missed that have really helped you, because there are other people listening to this and are dying to learn, how do I deal with this or that situation that wasn't discussed? And we can learn from each other. So comments below, and let's start helping each other so we can be better drivers and set the example for the others to follow, hopefully. All right, I'm Nathan. I'm an HSP, and yes, I enjoy being highly sensitive. Have a good day. And I actually enjoy driving. Peace out.